I would like to code this game by the end of the week, including the AI. And yeah, so far the game is like this. Yeah, let's just take a short break and play rank mode. So yeah, well, I'm paired with someone quite powerful. So this is how the game looks like. You're supposed to make all the rows in increasing order of number, and all the column in increasing order of numbers. So yeah, that's how we play the game. So now like this, I put my 12 here. So first player to form the entire grid wins. So everyone's trying to gain that achievement. Yeah, I do think I have a slight advantage because his board was actually worse than mine. But yeah, I did. He didn't want to get a 16. Let me just draw this one. So I will want to create a game in the Unity that is exactly like this. So is my screen like, yeah? So it should be exactly like this. Yeah, this is the end outcome. So we place this on table. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing that I drew 19 because 19 can't be placed anywhere. Yeah, then he can take my 19. So far I've created this petal flowing mechanic, or rather clover flowing mechanic. Yeah, so now we have two 16s. Actually, I wonder if I should just take one of them. I mean, it's not too bad the number. But I can just draw first because he will take 116. Yeah, I still have time to take the other one. So it is 12. It's very laggy now for some reason. Yeah, so I will put 12 here. Yeah, he took a 16. I'll take a 16 too, and I'll put it here. 20. Oh no, they gave me 20. I guess I'll have to take it. 3, draw. Oh no, another 20. What a waste of turns. Yeah, I mean, there's no point drawing 20 when I already have a 20 here. So that was kind of a wasted move. And here's a 6. He will just put it here or here. I'm thinking here. Oh, he's waiting for my 5. Interesting fella. Just take the 19 first. But what if I don't throw out my 5? 9, 18. I guess I will just fill up slowly from the edges until I really have to discard the 5. 8, 8 output here. So yeah, I think so far the game mechanic is similar to how Board Game Arena implemented it. 14. So see 15, 16, 17 mostly came out already. We are left with 115 and 116, of which one of them he'll take over here. I'm thinking I can just put my 14 here. Put the 11 here. Okay, great. I'm down to 2. Okay, he'll put his 11 here. So if any of us draws a 15 or 16, okay, it'll be a wasted move for either of us. So how things are. So I got a 10. Okay, a 2. Let me just draw. Oh, I got a 5. Ah, not exactly the best card I was hoping for. I guess he'll get the 5 then. Yeah, 3. Place this on table 2. Later I'll just swap the 2. And then he'll get the 5. Actually, am I waiting for any cuts? I'm still waiting for a 6 or 7. I still have some chance. And he has a chance for 6 also. Okay, he won. I'll try my best not to let him get the 5. Okay, 18 can be put here, I guess. Yeah, he has 3, 7, 7, 9, so I will get a 7 and 9 for free. Oh, but this 7 is a little too early. Yes! So I'll get the 7 and 9 for free. So 7 can come here. Okay, I should get my 12 back. 4. Okay, I guess I don't have to get a 3 first because it's my advantage. 9. Okay, so I can put the 9 for free. I can put here, I guess. Or would here be better? I think here is better. Yeah, the small numbers haven't really come out yet, so I should prioritize the board such that uh, I'm actually inclined to put this now because if he gets a small number here, I can take his 3 later. Yes, like that. Yeah, so that was a good move, I guess, to take his 3 early. So the 12 I'll put here so I can. The key to this game is to minimize the number of sorry, to maximize the opportunity you can have to get the incoming cards. Like you see, 19. So he got 18 here. I don't want him to get 18. So I will take it up. Yeah, so denying him because his range here is very little. He has two 17s here. So he gave me an 11. But I don't really want the 11 because it will constrain. I mean, first of all, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. There's still two tens that haven't come out yet. So I don't want to take the 11 yet. Don't constrain myself. So this one can go here. There's two fives that are not out yet. Yeah, there's two fives, 1 6, 1 8. That is a 1 8. I think I should still put here because if the 5 comes out, I'm just gonna extend my range over here. So finally, I'm having a bit of advantage over here. So let's hope. Okay, so I have this. Let me build my 6 here so that I can pop out this 12 and then essentially extend my range much greater. Oh, I don't have to. Wow, that was a good victory. Yeah, plan well. Okay, so yeah, whoa, 14 points. Not too bad. Yeah, he's quite a good player. Okay, great. So that was a demonstration of how the game works. And now back to coding. All right, so back to Unity. Yeah, I only have about 20 minutes today, this time, so I'll just try my best to do what I can. So far this has been what is done so far. So over here just now we saw the game message was a must place. So maybe I should change it to must instead of main. So let's see, must. Okay, so right now what I program is for like the oh, why is it so laggy today? Yeah, so I programmed the cards to go down straight to the player's play area, and then I'll just put them in the deck like that. Yeah, so I haven't programmed in the constraint yet. Okay, and that will be done later. Okay, so now they can also put to the table, and that's one. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to like for example, if I want to replace a card, I can click on this square, and then this card will fly to this square, and then after that, this card, the existing card on this square, will fly to the table. Okay, so as of now, the table wise, okay, I guess I could already instantiate all these prefabs one by one. Okay, but for the table, I'll keep it simple for now. I'll just say fly to the first position on the table. Okay, so let's try to program that. So first up, I will need my clover. Okay, where's my clover? my Clover prefab here, I will want it to be ignore raycast. Okay, so that I can click directly on the button itself. So let's see whether this works. Okay, if not, I might have to do it via script. So, oh, looks like, okay, Unity, how to ignore raycast for object. Okay, let's see whether, okay, my Clover prefab is in the layer ignore raycast. Okay, once I start the game, okay, and the clovers are generated and put under clovers, this game object called clovers. Just wonder whether oh, they are all under ignore raycast. Yet I can't click on my I can click on my button once this. Okay, button cannot be pressed because of objects in Unity. Okay. Button blocked by object in Unity. I want to, okay, block raycast Unity via script. Maybe that's what we need to do. Okay, prevent object from being make mouse click reach button through object in Unity. Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to click on the objects and ignore the clover. Okay, I think I have an easy solution for this. I mean, if the raycasting proves to be difficult, I can actually have my clover prefab. Oh, over here, this is the reason. Okay, I can still put this in UI layer, and then I just change the raycast target. Okay, so from now on, the clover itself will not be a raycast target anymore, which means that my mouse click, because when I do a mouse click, Unity actually generates a ray, I think, to go to the object itself. So yes, you see now it can go to the, now I can click on the button itself. Okay, for some reason I cannot click on these buttons here, but I can click on this. This time I managed to go over a button. Okay, but I'm not too sure. You see, sometimes I can click over a button like this one. Okay, I want it to ignore raycast and go straight to the button itself. Yeah, how do I do that? Okay, so you can see that the clover is still blocking. Okay, under ignore raycast layer, maybe I still need to put under ignore raycast layer and then make this not a raycast target. Okay, let's see how it goes again. Let's see how it goes again. Hmm. It's not being able to replace the existing targets because this clover kind of blocks the button. So I will need the I mean it'll be okay if the clovers are rendered before the buttons itself, then the buttons would be of a higher area. Mm, maybe I could play with the z-axis, like maybe if I put this as -1. I don't know, will this help with preventing the mouse click to touch the clover first? Okay, let's try it. Now this one go to 4, and this one will go to, looks like it still cannot reach. When I click on the thing, it doesn't go. Yeah, so, you know, I think we might need to make the clover button, but let me just search whether I can, ignore raycast through some scripting. Make object. I'm already in the layer ignore raycast, so maybe I go to projects. No, no, I think it's project settings, physics 2D, ignore raycast. Yeah, maybe I'll just ignore collisions for everything. I'm not sure whether this will work because I don't think there's any collider box that I'm adding to the ignore raycast layer. Nope. Oh, somehow this worked just now. Yeah, once I have a clover on the box. Oh, you see, actually, it's okay. Maybe it's the button click. Maybe let me just do button press so that I know whether it actually when uh, the button is actually pressed. So this is very important for this part of the programming. So let's see. Okay, so I have a console here. So if I click here, button press. Click here, button is not press. Button press. Button press. Button press. Okay, so it's still not being able to go through the. Maybe this part here needs to be ignore raycast. Let's try again. Okay, but it shouldn't matter because the children are all ignore raycast for the clovers. So technically I should be able to press the button through them. Yeah, it's not pressing. It's not going to the same slot. Alternatively, I can add a button to the clover itself. That might be a better approach actually. Yeah, why not I just add a button to the clover itself so we could have a. I'm not too sure how to do that for the. I'm not sure how to pass, not ignore the layer other than rendering it below it. If I render it below, then you can't see the clovers anymore. So maybe I make the clover become a button. Then I don't need to print out this. So we can call replace clover for this. So when we call replace clover in game manager, it means that okay, our current clover will go over to the position, and then also the clover on that position. I think we can do it concurrently. The clover on that position, this dot game object. Or we could have like clover. Or yeah, we could have just a game object. So get the current clover to the clover's location, and after that get get clover to the table. So what we need to do is clover to bot to table. Okay, my clover. Yeah. So then we can have this void clover to table. Okay, so we don't really have the table. We have a game object table, but we don't have the buttons in the table itself yet. So what we can do is we can, no, at the moment table is just the table cuts, but let me just modify it a bit. Oh, hold on, let me just make my code clover to table game object my clover. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume that table is the one that is the button. Okay, so current clover dot. Okay, so over here to do deconflict with the positions of the table cards. So that means we will have multiple cards that can be put on the table, and then we want to instantiate them one by one when we go there. So that will be a to do. So current clover dot get component clover dot set position. Okay, actually it's my clover. Okay, my clover get component clover, and we set position of the table dot transform dot position, and actually that's it. So in my clover now, let me just add a button. Initially I didn't want to have a button, but it looks like it'd be easier right now to have a button, and then this button we will have clover click. Okay, and in the main scene itself, in the table cuts, okay, we will just choose one of the buttons. Okay, let's just hide all this. Let's have only one button, one table cut. Okay, just for starters. Okay, maybe tomorrow we can have more buttons. Okay, but today we'll just do one button. We always start simple and then build from there. So we have one button here, and we want to put this in the game manager. Is it table? At first I put table cuts, but let's just put one button first. Okay, just want to see whether this thing is working. Okay, let's go to Judgment Day. Okay, we see whether it is working. Okay, so okay, let's put this on the table. Replace. Nice. Do you see that? Did you see that? Whoa. 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 Okay, okay. So that means when we click on an existing clover, that clover will go to the table. See? Look at that. Okay. That clover didn't go to the table. We can make all of them go to the table. All of them go to the table, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, now the hard part will be to record where the clover is. Okay, so like once we activate this one, go to this button. Okay, we will need to either assign the clover to a button position. Okay, I mean the clover itself is a button also, but that's not the point. The point is that okay, if let's say we replace it like that, it goes to the table. We want it to go to the table and then have a separate card over here. So yes, so you can see that the game is like so this part when it goes to the table, this part is not very neat yet. Okay, what we'll do next is when we go to the table, okay, if there's already one card here, okay, we will want to split the card into two. Okay, that means we will probably what we will need to do is essentially go to this button here. So we already have all these buttons made, or we can instantiate them actually, and then we can set active one button like that. But you see, once we set active this button, this clover position will need to adapt and shift over to where the button is. So like let's say one more card comes, we can increase the size one button like that. Then once the clover leaves, we can deactivate this button. Yeah, so I'm thinking that maybe we don't even have a button. Okay, when the clover flies there, the clover itself, okay, I can set the parent of the clover to be the table cards. Okay, so this just means that I will have one button here. Okay, the original button that I gave that. Okay, let me just unpack this prefect completely. Okay, it just means that I will only have one button like that. Okay, essentially this button itself will be a placeholder. It will not even have an image. It will not even have a button. It will not have a button click. It will not have an outline. Okay, because the clover itself later will be the button. Okay, to make things easy. So this button is really a placeholder. And I'm thinking even, okay, where is table cuts? I'm thinking maybe I might even be able to just use table cuts as my position. So let's just try. Instead of having the button, sorry, the table being that button, we can just use table cuts, which is the parents. And then I want to see whether it flies to the table. That's the main thing. Yeah, I see it flies to the table. Okay, awesome. So actually there's an easy solution to this. So once we have a table, sorry, what once we have the once we have this clover to table here, okay, and then we could have this start coroutine add clover to table. Okay, what this coroutine would do is I enumerator. What this coroutine would do is that it would set the parents of the clover. So after like a few seconds, maybe can you wait? Maybe after 1 second, I guess, maybe 0.5 seconds, it moves pretty fast. After the half a second delay, I will then set my clover. I believe there's a set parent method. I will set my parent of that clover to be the table itself. So let's see. Set parent, new parent. Set parent the transform the parent. So we could have this my clover dot transform dot set parent. Okay, table dot is a game object, right? So table dot transform, and what we can do is we can add, yeah, so this one we can take out already. Yeah, we can have the clover have individual position. Okay, so maybe we can keep track of the position via the clovers themselves. Yeah, the clovers themselves can be our information bearers and let us know where they are. Are they at the table or are they at the grid itself? And eventually, when I want to get information to update my arrays and everything, I can get them from the clovers directly. Okay, so let's see. This is supposed to add the clover after it flies to the table. Then it should be underneath this table cuts itself. Okay, so actually this button is redundant. Let's remove it. So it should be underneath this table cuts itself, which will have a fixed column count of 11. And this means that I can have up to 11 buttons in one column before it goes to the next column. Let's see whether it works. Okay, it's flying there. It's flying there. But okay, okay, if I were to duplicate this, oh, I see why. Because it's been given the original position to go to under the clover script. Okay, it's been called set position and goes to that position. Okay, after that, it refuses to let itself be synchronized by this. So what we can do is this. Okay, okay. So on click, we can have bool has traveled. It's true. Okay, so in the transform update itself, if has traveled, then return. Okay, that means we if traveled to the destination, we don't want it to keep updating its position. Okay, then over here, once we do a set position, has traveled will be false. Okay, okay, then over here, if transform dot position goes to target pos, has traveled equals to true. Okay, so this will mean that once it has reached its target position, the clover itself wouldn't travel anymore. That's what we want to do. So if the clover itself doesn't travel anymore, it will be affected by the grid layout group, hopefully. So let's see, fly there. Okay, so you can see it went to the table, fly to the table. Very nice. So you see, okay, so that's now it went to the last position here. Yeah, so actually this shouldn't happen because we aren't allowed to touch the table cut when this is here. So okay, let's not try this use case because I will do some implementations with the button to prevent that from happening. Okay, so the buttons, only a few of them will be activated. Okay, so once we have all this done, okay, we can put on a grid like that. We can put on a grid like that. So tomorrow maybe I will try to do some of the. Firstly, we need the clover to remember its location. Is it on player one's grid? Is it on players two grid? Is it on the table? Okay, and after that, based on that, we are able to reconstruct this number grid, uh, not in this visual form, but we can construct it in an array, and then from the array we can do some if conditions to check whether the top and the left is smaller than the number that you want, and then the right and the bottom is bigger. Then only then you can place the number there. If there's no numbers, then we can give it as like 0, and at the bottom it can be 21. So so if there's no numbers, there's no restriction. If there's numbers, then there are restrictions. So now I replace. Oh, oh wow, the tree didn't go there. Why? Okay, okay. Let's try again. Let's try again. That's something that is astonishing because I didn't expect that. Okay, so we have the 4 here. Let's click on the 4. Okay, it's working. So why is the tree not working? Okay, I think I know why. Because I put a button for the clover. So I guess, and then I put under ignore raycast. So let's just on back the raycast. Maybe sometimes. So it can't. I think this button itself doesn't use raycast because the raycasting part didn't really work. Okay, so we have this now. Let's on our inspector and take a look. So if you click here and go to the table, okay, it works. Click here and go to the table. Actually, the flow looks quite nice. Oh, what happened here? Okay, so it went to the table and it moved its position, but the when it reached the table and it moved. Okay, so it probably just means that this part here, the set parent here, it hasn't really reached the table yet. Okay, so maybe what I can do is like that. Clover dot stop travel. Okay, so this is just a brute force method to just tell it has traveled is true, so that it doesn't update its future position automatically anymore. It will just leave the grid layout group to tell it where its place in life should be. Everyone has a place in life, including this clover here. Ah, there we go. So I'm starting to think that maybe the 0.5 might be a bit too fast. Maybe 1 second. Let's try again. It's quite interesting to do like this kind of programming in Unity, because there's this kind of object-oriented programming. It really reminds me of a factory. Okay, so I think rather than too fast, 0.5 might be too slow. So maybe we try 0.3 seconds. So we want to get the visual impact that is the best. Like once your tile flies there, straight away the table appears nicely arranged. So let's try it out. Okay, I clicked on the play button, and then initially the set of cards will come out, splash out in that diagonal like that. And then okay, let's just click a button. Wait, oh, this is the scene. This is not the game. Sorry. Let's go to the game. I click on a normal button just to try. And now I do the replacement like that. Okay, so 0. Actually 0.3 is a little too fast, but just a little bit. You know what? Maybe 0.5 is still the best. 0.5 just now, at least there was some motion to the table before it sort of adjusted itself. So let's try that again. And we probably want to arrange the cards on the table uh, based on the numbers. Yeah, I think maybe 0.4 will be a sweet spot. Yeah. So one of the to-do lists that we want to do is on the table itself. We want to display the numbers in increasing order, much like how the lucky numbers here, how they did it here for Board Games Arena. Okay, I really like this implementation now. Oh, okay, I sort of lost the site, but yeah, the idea is similar. The idea is that we want to display the numbers on the table, okay, to spread out widely. Okay, let's see. Not spread out widely, sorry. I mean in increasing order. So now it's like 7, 15, 4. We want this 4 to go all the way to the left. So we need to do some sorting in our so right now all this is displayed in the table itself, table cards. We want some sorting to be done in this children here. Okay, the sorting can be done like either through name, or we could do like whenever we add parent, we can sort one time. Yeah, let me just go and research on what is the best way to do it, because I think if we were to change the name of the Clover clone, we can call it like Clover 1, Clover 2, according to the card number, right? Clover, let's call it Clover 0. Okay, maybe we call this Clover 5, and then Clover 2. Oh, it didn't rearrange automatically. So I guess changing the name wouldn't cut it. We need to do some sort of sorting, okay, in order to make sure that the smallest number will appear here. So we need to do some sort of sorting. I'll think about it tomorrow. Okay. So now, for now, let's see how many cards can we stack on the table. Okay, let's try it out. Da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da. Okay, so it reached the second row. Very good. That's exactly as intended. Da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. You know what? Actually, since this is a button, we can actually click here and the next card will come here. But no, no, we shouldn't do that. Okay, we shouldn't do that. I mean, I could do that, then this card will fly there. Okay, so it looks like the table itself will expand like that, but that's okay. That's okay because I don't think this would really happen in the game. But if it really does, it will still appear within the screen, so it's not too bad. Yeah, but it might be blocked slightly by this player too because like this thing, I think slightly lower. This is rendered later than this part here. So at the bottom here, there might be some cutting, but it shouldn't matter too much. It will still work, and that's all that we need to know. So this is my current clover. As it go to this location. Oh, there's something interesting here. But anyway, we are not allowed to touch the cards here. Yeah, it means that all these cards go to this position. But because they are still in the transform parent, so they don't get adjusted. Okay, yeah, let's not play around with that. And yeah, that's all for today. So today we managed to get the clover to go into the grid. Okay, and then if let's say there's a card there, the card will go to the table. And then if there's more and more cards, then there'll be more and more clovers generated because these table cards will have a grid layout group that will organize them well. And tomorrow, we'll try to sort out these table cards so that they appear in ascending order. Okay, if not, yep, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and see ya.